graphics look and feel their best for spring. Call now and schedule a free fast-track consultation to find out how you can finally get rid of those embarrassing varicose and spider veins. Space is limited, so call 800-300-3388. That's 800-300-3388. 800-300-3388.
Do you know what a RIA is? It's a Real Estate Investor Association, and it's where smart people go to obtain wholesale houses, get no money or no credit financing, team up with local investing partners to make money while learning about the business, and receive local market intelligence and training. Don't buy houses retail. That's ridiculous. And please don't waste your money going to a get-rich-quick seminar from a traveling pitchman. Come network with local DFW area real estate investors that are just getting started or taking it to the next level. Come join the largest real estate investor network in Texas. We meet on Tuesday, April 25th at 6 p.m. at the Great Wolf Lodge in Grapevine. You can register to attend for free by calling 800-717-3320. This month's topic is Top DFW Investors Share Their Secrets. Call 800-717-3320. Write it down. That's 800-717-3320 to attend any of our upcoming meetings and receive a valuable Texas real estate training program for free. Brought to you by the DFW Real Estate Investment Association.
I'm James Furr. I'm a 70-year-old Vietnam veteran, and I have hepatitis C. My main focus was to take care of hepatitis C. Taking Balance of Nature did other things for me. I was feeling more energetic. My mental acuity had increased. When I play golf, I would notice that bending over to line up a putt, I would have a bit of a struggle to stand back up. But even now, 10 years later, I stand up better than I did then. Taking Balance of Nature, getting fruits and vegetables into your system is just another way to deal with hepatitis C. I will live happily with hepatitis C instead of feeling like I want to die because someone's trying to cure me of it. But thanks to Balance of Nature, I live a normal, happy.
Oh, the other one was
healthy,
windmills in the
life.
Panhandle.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code 660AM.
Chris Tomlin presents Worship Night in America. Chris Tomlin, Big Daddy Weave, Phil Wickham, Zach Williams, Mosaic MSC, and speaker Jason Barton. Don't miss this amazing night as the church joins together. An awakening event from the Awakening Foundation.
Coming April 21st and April 22nd to Verizon Theater at Grand Prairie. On sale now. Get your tickets at AXS.com.
It's time to honor our veterans with the Patriot Mobile Veteran of the Month. 660 AM The Answer joins with Patriot Mobile to spotlight a veteran each month. If you know a veteran who deserves such an honor, then go to 660amtheanswer.com and nominate them to be Patriot Mobile Veteran of the Month. Winners will receive a Crossroads Diner gift certificate and an award from Patriot Mobile. Plus, they'll have an opportunity to come to the studios to meet Mark Davis and John David Wells. Go to 660amtheanswer.com to nominate your veteran. That's the Patriot Mobile Veteran of the Month.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report with John David Wells. Must hear radio on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. This is what I like. I'm glad you guys are paying attention. By the way, I just fired up the television show. If you want to see Ryan Sitton, our Texas Railroad Commissioner, go to the Wells Report on YouTube live events. You'll be able to see him. Let's see. Move to your. That's it. Right. And bring the microphone with you. Move to your right again. Just a little bit. See? And you'll be able to see that, and you'll be able to see the bald spot on my head. Let me get to the phone calls. David in Seagoville, Texas. Talk to me about your question and question only for Ryan Sitton, Texas Railroad Commissioner.
Yes. There are fault lines in North Texas, and I have a pet theory that I wanted to ask if you thought.
Go ahead and ask your question.
That the fracking, the injection of the water into the ground, is actually relieving pressure along those fault lines, and in not necessarily a controlled manner, but certainly a lot less dramatic than they might otherwise release.
Okay, so in other words, the fault lines are getting less pressure on them?
Well, in fact, David, you ask a very good question. Let me start by saying this. Earthquakes are never caused by disposal wells. The earthquakes are caused by shifting land masses. You can't see my hands, but I'm trying to demonstrate over the air, which of course doesn't. If you're watching me online,
they can see your hands.
Land mass is shifting and getting bound up. You remember in the 80s when there was the big earthquakes in San Francisco, one that hit Candlestick Park.
Yep.
Californians were talking about injecting water to lubricate those fault planes so that they would, when they did move, they would move less violently. So yes, now it's not hydraulic fracturing that would do that. It might be disposal wells that are causing that. But at the end of the day, it's the tension between the plates. And yes, there is some theory that, you know what, when you lubricate these things, maybe earthquakes are happening that were going to happen anyway, just less violently.
The San Andreas Fault is actually it's the continental plate going under the Pacific plate, and the Pacific plate catches and then releases violent energy. And in the case of San Francisco, there's a lot of alluvial soil on top of this area where they built the city.
Are y'all catching how much JD is showing off here, using all these big words? I mean, this is really impressive.
Thank you very much. Anyway, so people can go, how does he know all that stuff?
Alluvial? Is that even a real word?
All that stuff. I can read. Anyway, so what ends up happening is that when these plates break loose, that's when an earthquake comes, and it sets shock waves up that echo. It's like sound waves, and they echo, and it will shake the city violently. And because of all this loose dirt, which is basically what Texas is made out of. So there's a reason why I brought all that up.
There you go.
For whatever
No,
reason.
hey, that's awesome.
Sarah in Dallas, what's your question for Ryan Sitton?
Well, I heard that Secretary Perry and EPA Director Fred are going to be at Earthquake Day this weekend. Are you going to interact with them?
Sarah, I am. Now, I got Sarah. Do you have an H at the end of your name?
Yes.
I do.
Awesome. My daughter's got an H as well. So thank you for spelling it right. I just offended all the Sarahs without an H, didn't I?
That's all right. Don't worry about it. That's okay.
So yes, as a matter of fact, I will. As a matter of, I will be Friday afternoon, it looks like, doing somewhat of a town hall with Scott Pruitt, where we'll be talking about what happens at the federal level and at the state level and how working together on those things makes sense. With former governor, now Secretary Perry, we will be, I think it's a lunch on Thursday, I guess tomorrow, Friday afternoon, where we'll be there together. He and I are going to have some time to talk privately about a few things. We're not doing anything publicly together, although I will be introducing him, I think, at his lunch. So this is a long answer to the fact that I do get to spend some time with both those guys, and I'm looking forward to it.
Let me get to Forrest in Gun Barrel City. Forrest, what's your question for Railroad Commissioner Ryan Sitton? Hello, Forrest.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can now.
Okay, sorry. Given the abundance of oil and gas, how are the commercial wind farms in Texas faring? And at what point, if ever, does it make sense for a consumer, a resident, a homeowner in Texas to think about alternative forms of energy? I'm just curious.
That is a very good question.
It
Thanks
is a
for
good
asking.
question. And I actually say this, people are sometimes surprised. Look, it's always good to think about alternative forms of energy because you never know when the economics in your particular situation will make sense. I own a couple of office buildings down in the Houston area, and there were issues with the power system not being reliable enough. And we actually invested in both solar cells and natural gas generators so that when the grid went down, those buildings still had power. And it wasn't about just the cost of electricity, but about the businesses running in those office buildings. So look, it's always out there. Now, back to your first question. You got a lot of oil and gas, or the first part of your question. You got a lot of oil and gas in the state. The economics are getting better and better. We're becoming more and more a global energy player again. And what does it look like for the future of wind farms? The economics are still good, especially in places like West Texas, where you got a lot of wind. It's a good resource. So I think you're still going to see those, but we're in a new age where oil and gas is going to help us be globally dominant again. So it's probably going to be a while before you see things like solar or wind or others become the dominant source of energy. That's probably several decades away.
And I have to say that there's been some interesting things happening. The Public Utilities Commission is currently engaged with Encore. Encore is trying to charge everyone who has solar panels on their roof a $40 connection fee or a tax for producing their own energy. So yeah, there's a little bit of an issue here, because apparently when they said there's a law out there that says that if you generate electricity more than you need, you can sell it.
They have to buy it.
They have to buy it.
Right.
And they don't like that. And so what they're trying to do, they'll still buy it, but they're going to charge you for selling it to them.
Okay. I wasn't aware of that.
See, yeah, that's one of the cool things about the Enron mess.
Mm-hmm.
They turned electricity into a giant parlor game, and they're still doing it. So there you go. Ray in Dallas, by the way, 866-660-5759. This could be your only chance to sit down with Ryan Sitton and get your question answered about the oil, gas, and petrochemical industry, a little bit about that oil business. 866-660-5759. Ray, what is your question for Ryan?
Commissioner, with all the increased shale production that we have, and with Trump deregulating the coal industry to where we can start mining more efficiently and more cheaply, are we anywhere close to the OPEC? Because it seems like they're starting to show some cracks.
In other words, are we getting close to damaging OPEC?
Well, to getting them to fall apart. I mean, to making the cost of energy so cheap that they're not viable anymore, because OPEC's just kind of been controlling the price of oil by their will.
Yeah, it's a great question, Ray. And look, as much as I am as proud an American and a Texan as you can find, and the things that we are doing are absolutely reverberating throughout the OPEC conglomerate. However, what you're seeing is, and you see this every time you try to, a government entity uses artificial market controls, eventually it comes home to roost. In the case of OPEC, what's happening is Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and UAE have some sovereign wealth, and they can weather the storm of low prices. The other OPEC nations, places like Venezuela and Libya, they can't live with it. So what happens is in the recent market downturn, where the primary players, Saudi and the 11 dwarfs, Saudi was trying to maintain control of market share. The other OPEC players were panicking. We can't live with this. We can't fund our social programs. So just the fact that their artificial market controls won't have created a bad market scenario for them is what's weakening the OPEC alliance. Now, you couple with that the fact that oil companies here in Texas are figuring out ways to drill cheaper, to transport products. We're building import-export facilities. Our refineries are second to none around the world. It's becoming a better and better landscape for us. I can see a time 10, 15 years down the road, maybe even sooner, where Mexico, Canada, and the United States together are producing 15 million, maybe even 18 million barrels a day, refining more oil into refined products than anyone else in the world. And the alliance, not because of artificial market controls, just because of natural business relationships, that alliance becomes dominant over the OPEC conglomerate.
And when you can also include Canada in that, because of the North Slope and all of that, that oil production as well.
Did I say Canada?
Okay. Did he say Canada? He did.
Okay.
So
No,
I just had a little glitch, and my brain stopped for a moment.
Look, I was convinced. I was like, man, I must have left that
there
out.
because I heard America, I heard the U.S. and Mexico, but I didn't hear Canada. But anyway, but then again, most people don't hear Canada anyway. So, aside from minor league baseball, they don't even know the song. 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. I am interested in energy production in the United States, and I'm very, very glad that this stupid war on coal is gone. I'm not a big fan of wind power, insofar as I thought it was 13th and 14th century technology, but actually it goes back even further than that. It goes back to the Romans. They actually used some of it. They used water wheels a lot, and they were genius with it. But still, at the end of the day, I'm not real impressed with wind and so on until superconductors become more available to us. I mean, I'm talking about a superconductor that is some kind of an element that conducts electricity with far greater efficiency. Unless we get that done, we're not going to be in a position where we can actually make a whole lot of use of solar, because there simply isn't enough energy hitting the planet that we can convert from the sun.
Well, I'll tell you this. And you got to keep in mind, I'm a huge geek, right? Engineer, parents, both science teachers. I mean, I find the opportunities in wind and solar and other areas fascinating. And I think that there will be a time that we'll see those play really key roles in our economy and our energy infrastructure. The problem I always have with it, and it's when government gets in and screws things up by trying, let's subsidize this, let's put these requirements. Next thing you know, you've screwed up the market. And now those businesses become questionable investments. So do I want to invest in solar? I don't know if I want to or not, because if the government doesn't subsidize it anymore, it's a bad business. I mean, if there's going to be neat opportunities out there, and you're seeing companies make some investments.
Yeah, but it should all be private sector. The government needs to get the hell out of the way.
Exactly.
Let me get to Keith in Carrollton. What's your question for Ryan Sitton, Texas Railroad Commissioner?
Thank you for your time. Question is, love the Keystone Pipeline coming down. When was the last time we had a refinery built in Texas? And his thoughts of, why don't we build one in the middle of the United States instead of bringing the Keystone all the way down to Texas? Because if we had more refineries, wouldn't we be able to produce more gasoline and oil?
Great question. So first of all, a couple quick statistics to geek out on you. In 1980, there were 300 refineries in the United States, and they refined close to 19 million barrels a day of crude oil. Today, the United States has about 130 refineries, less than half, and we refine about 19 million barrels a day of crude oil. Yes, EPA, stringent requirements, bad permitting, blockades have made it difficult to build refineries. However, the biggest thing that has made it difficult to build refineries is no one wants one in their backyard. Believe it or not.
True.
So when you look around the country, what's happened is refineries have expanded. We haven't had a new refinery in the United States since 1979. Two of them, one in Corpus Christi, one in Garyville, Louisiana, were started in that year. But since that time, we've had numbers of expansions. And so to answer the second part of that question, why build this pipeline all the way down to Texas? Because the refining infrastructure, we've got dozens of them along the Texas Gulf Coast. You've got access to ports to ship products out, bring products in. You got an existing connective infrastructure between all those refineries. It's cheaper to just bring that product down here and use the refineries we already have and expand those than it is to try to build a new one. Now, there have been a couple of permits and attempts to build new ones, but I'll tell you, it's a challenging market. I expect to see the ones we have that are existing expand.
Well, and the thing about it is that you're not just taking petrochemicals, you're not just taking crude oil and turning it into gasoline. You're taking crude oil and turning it into acetone and gasoline and benzene and
diesel,
all the
jet fuel,
everything,
hydrogen,
on and on and on and on. And you can't do that with just a little dinky refinery. I suppose what you could do is you could put a bunch of little refineries that take petrochemicals, take crude oil, and only do gasoline.
You would just lose money doing it.
But you'd lose money. Yeah,
right.
Exactly. So yeah, there's all kinds of highfalutin thinking going on in this refinery business thing, and you got to be able to send that stuff someplace after you refine it, and that means the Gulf of Mexico, real fine place to do it, and pipelines
easy
work.
access.
Hey man, we ought to do this more often.
We should. Thank you so much for having me. I love it.
Really enjoyed it. Ryan Sitton, Texas Railroad Commissioner, a guy that I think we're going to get to know this guy a lot more as time goes by. Graduate of Texas A&M.
Whoop.
You are listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM. The Answer. Back with more in a moment.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-400-5008. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-400-5008. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-400-5008. 1-800-400-5008.
If some high-pressure salesperson twisted your arm into buying a timeshare, it's not your fault. Whether you bought decades ago or days ago, I bet that salesperson didn't mention your timeshare could cost you twice as much as a regular vacation, or that you'd never be able to use it when you wanted, or that your fees could shoot up every year. They misled you, and that's not fair. That's why we're here, to get your timeshare company to free you from your unwanted timeshare. Get the free information you need at 1-800-700-4839. We're the Timeshare Exit Attorneys, America's #1 timeshare exit service run by real attorneys, not sales companies or middlemen. It was a salesperson who got you into this mess. Don't rely on a salesperson to get you out. We've got a 100% service guarantee and have already helped thousands of people get out of unwanted timeshares. For free information, call 1-800-700-4839. That's 1-800-700-4839, 1-800-700-4839.
Sleep Experts Mattress Price Wars sale is on now. Hey, Mark Davis, and I love Sleep Experts. You'll save up to $500 on top brands, even Serta, Kingsdown, Beauty Rest. You will find the perfect mattress for you with Sleep Experts' exclusive Expert Match technology. It's a mattress. You come in, you lie down on it, it kind of senses what you need in a mattress, and then offers up some suggestions so you save a lot of time, and you're definitely saving money. And you can get even up to 4 years interest-free financing on qualifying mattress sets. For more info on that, 866-780-6220, subject to credit approval. So hurry on in for the Mattress Price Wars sale at Sleep Experts. This is a Consumer Choice Award-winning location for 11 years in a row. SleepExperts.com. Find the location closest to you. Lisa and I love Sleep Experts. 120-day love your mattress guarantee. You're going to love them. Take advantage of this mattress price war because it ends soon. SleepExperts.com. Check them out. SleepExperts.com.
Allergy sufferers are hearing a lot of numbers these days about symptoms and relief, but the number sufferers want most is zero, as in zero nasal allergy symptoms. And nothing gets you closer to zero than Nasacort. Because unlike antihistamines that stop only one cause of your allergy symptoms, Nasacort stops more. And stopping more gets you closer to zero. For 24-hour relief of your worst nasal allergy symptoms, including congestion, choose Nasacort. It stops more of what makes you miserable. Use as directed.
Attention business owners, this is Tony Robbins. I've spent the last 3 decades helping companies create serious business breakthroughs, and I want to help you like never before.
And this is Chet Holmes, author of the #1 business book, The Ultimate Sales Machine. If you've heard my radio spots before, maybe you don't know that about 2,000 action-oriented business owners call us every week to get our free reports, but it was Tony Robbins that challenged me to go even further for you.
Chet and I have built a serious training program called 4 Ways to Double Sales in 12 months.
And here's what Tony convinced me to do.
We're going to give this to any business owner who calls us at 800-632-1990. Just call with your email address and we'll email you this phenomenal audio training program at our expense, not yours.
It's a heck of a gift. See if you agree. 4 Ways to Double Sales in 12 months.
Call and leave us a voicemail with your email and we'll give you a program that others have paid dearly to receive. Call right now, 800-632-1990.
It is April. It is springtime, a time of renewal. Hey, Mark Davis and my friends at Viascan of Las Colinas, let's renew our commitment to good health. And that means knowing what's going on inside our bodies. We eat better, we do exercise programs, all good. But listen, have you got some kind of plaques and blockage in your heart that you should know about before you exert yourself? Have you got some kind of little tiny cancer spot going on in some vital organ that you don't even know about? Well, let's find out about it. It's called early detection, and you know it's the smart thing to do. Here's what makes it smarter: the incredible price at Viascan of Las Colinas. Listen, this technology is available at hospitals for thousands. Usual Viascan price for a heart scan and body scan is about $1,400. How about $695? $695 to find out plaques and blockages in your heart, little tiny cancer spots in your vital organs, and get it all at 972-739-2840. 972-739-2840. It's Viascan of Las Colinas. 972-739-2840, or just Google Viascan.
Allergy sufferers are hearing a lot of numbers these days about symptoms and relief, but the number sufferers want most is zero, as in zero nasal allergy symptoms. And nothing gets you closer to zero than Nasacort. Because unlike antihistamines that stop only one
2017 and you sitting in a house trying to sell, others have tried, but nobody can. Call Josh right now. Get on board with the Josh DeShong system, 972-325-6644, 972-325-6644, or getsold.net, getsold.net. What is that system? He makes you a promise that says, I'm going to talk to you about a price that you can sell this house at and a time frame that makes sense. And if I can't sell that house at that price in that time frame, I, Josh DeShong, will buy that house from you. Either way, you are done. You're at closing. You're clear. You're happy, just like Lisa and I are. We love Josh. Get on board with him today at 972-325-6644, 972-325-6644, or getsold.net. Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends at Simple Sleep, inviting you to make 2017 the year for a healthier you with healthier sleep. Snoring is not just evidence that, hey, you're really sleeping soundly. It is evidence that there's something the matter. It's an interruption. Sleep apnea is a barrier to the proper amount of air, oxygen, getting to your heart, getting to your bloodstream. Let's fix this. Surgery will fix it, but who wants surgery? CPAP device, big old helmet and hose. Now keep going. Simple Sleep Services offers the best way. The Somnodent device. It's what they did for me. Simple oral appliance. You pop it in, kiss your wife goodnight, and boom, silent night. Even when it's not Christmas. No CPAP, no surgery, just simple sleep. Great people to deal with. Insurance covers it. Dallas and Fort Worth. Let's call them. 469-685-1700. 469-685-1700. If you don't want surgery and the CPAP thing's a deal breaker, 469-685-1700 or simplesleepservices.com.
If you're familiar with cloud computing, you probably know that Amazon Web Services offers a complete set of secure compute, storage, application, and deployment services that help companies launch and scale their IT infrastructures while lowering costs. But did you know that you're still responsible for protecting your own AWS-based assets, meaning your applications and data, from advanced cyber threats? Protect your AWS with Barracuda Network's advanced firewall solutions. Visit AWS Marketplace or barracuda.com/AWS to learn more.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM. KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lisa Lacera. A home east of Paris searched after an attack on police officers on the Champs-Élysées. One officer killed, 3 other people hurt before the gunman was shot and killed. ISIS claiming responsibility.
French President Francois Hollande saying he is convinced the circumstances point to a terrorist act. This all happening 3 days before voters here go to the polls to begin electing a new president. Security was already among the big issues following a string of Islamist attacks.
Fox's Simon Owen in Paris. Police said the suspect had been flagged as an extremist. Singer Cuba Gooding Sr. of the 70s R&B group The Main Ingredient has died.
According to TMZ, the singer and father to Oscar-winning actor Cuba Gooding Jr. was found dead in a car parked on Ventura Boulevard, located in the Sherman Oaks area of Los Angeles.
Fox's Michelle Polino. Cuba Gooding Sr. was 72. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer.
Is your body beat up from the hard work you do every day? Well, if you're a hard-working American and have aches and pains in your knees, back, or even your whole body from working hard all day, then your insurance company doesn't want you to hear this. The Pain Advocate Hotline is now open 24/7 to help you get covered for the pain you have. Your insurance company takes your money every month and hopes to not hear from you. But if your body is beat up from the hard work you do every day, like driving a truck, waiting tables, or fixing cars, we can help get your insurance company to pay for pain-relieving products to help fix your back or knee pain at little or no cost to you. We've helped millions of good, honest, hard-working Americans relieve their joint pains. Just call the Pain Advocate Hotline now at 800-903-0074 for absolutely free information on pain-relieving options available to you now. Call the Pain Relief Hotline now at 800-903-0074. That's 800-903-0074. 800-903-0074.
Terminix 1 to Terminix 2. I've discovered the secret location of the termite colony. I'm moving in. Roger that. Need backup? We have a team 10,000 strong. I'm going in alone. Must take termites out before they cause more destruction. You could be outnumbered 1,000,000 to 1. At Terminix, We like those odds.
Don't let termites invade your home. Once they start, they are relentless, eating every minute of every day. Termites are never satisfied, so take immediate action. Call Terminix at 1-800-300-4711. As America's leading termite control provider, Terminix will do whatever it takes to stop termites in their tracks with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Termites never stop trying to get in. Terminix never stops working to keep them out. And if they ever come back, so will Terminix.
Mission accomplished. Termites reported on Park Street. Let's go. Not a moment to lose.
For a free termite inspection, call the experts at Terminix, Defenders of Home. 1-800-300-4711. 1-800-300-4711.
30-day money-back guarantee at participating locations.
This is a special notice to all U.S. taxpayers. If you owe the IRS or state back taxes and cannot afford to pay them back, there's good news. Due to the financial hardship many are facing in today's economy, the IRS has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative. Qualifying for this program will resolve your tax problem, end all collections, and possibly reduce your back taxes by up to 90%. If you are facing wage garnishments, liens, bank levies, audits, or payroll taxes, it's not too late. Your circumstances may qualify you for this special program, protecting your savings and your assets. If you owe the IRS or state back taxes and cannot afford to pay them back, there's no need to worry anymore. Call the hotline at Victory Tax Solutions to see if you qualify and potentially save thousands. For this free information, call 800-352-4757. 800-352-4757. That's 800-352-4757.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-827-5948 now. That's 800-827-5948 for your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-827-5948 to learn more. 800-827-5948. That's 800-827-5948. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Warning. If you've recently declared bankruptcy, you're going to want to cover your ears, because there's an alternative to bankruptcy, and it could be better than you'd ever think possible. But if you've already declared bankruptcy and have missed this opportunity, you'll want to cover your ears now. Here it is. Right now, the company that has resolved more credit card debt than anyone in the U.S. may be able to settle your debt too. You could resolve your debt with one low monthly program payment. If you call right now and qualify, Freedom Debt Relief will show you how low your monthly program payment could be for free. Call now. 1-800-600-1356. That's 1-800-600-1356. If you're struggling with debt, this could be your answer. And the bigger your debt, the more money you could save. To find out for free how much of your hard-earned money Freedom Debt Relief could help you save, call now. 1-800-600-1356. 1-800-600-1356. 1-800-600-1356.
Are you Rich Little, that guy that imitates all those people on television?
That's right, it is Rich Little, and he's coming to Arlington Music Hall on April 22nd for one unforgettable evening of laughs.
Nixon's lost it. He's gone over the edge.
Don't miss the man of 1,000 voices as he impersonates presidents, celebrities, singers, and more.
When this stormathon thing against all extremistic fractions is concludified.
That's Saturday, April 22nd at Arlington Music Hall, and coming in May, don't miss Donnie Edwards' tribute to Elvis. Get your tickets now at arlingtonmusichall.net.
This is 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is The Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. I got that wrong earlier. I was talking about how a federal judge made a mistake. But in point of fact, it was a It was a panel of judges, federal judges, making a mistake. These guys, it's one thing. It's one thing to have the federal government involved in your state politics. That's bad enough, okay? But when the people that are actually involving themselves in state politics have no flippin' clue how the system works, that's even worse. And I'm assuming that this is the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, and boy, do these guys look like flipping him incompetent boobs. All right? Let me explain something to you. All right? Let me explain something to you. This is the story that just hit the air, well, 6:25 this evening. Texas State House districts drawn by the Republican-led legislature in 2011. Are you with me so far? Intentionally diluted the votes of minorities, which of course violates the U.S. Constitution and parts of the Voting Rights Act, according to a federal court. In a 2-1 ruling, a 3-judge panel in San Antonio found that the maps gave Republicans an advantage in elections and weakened the voting strength of minority voters. House districts in Dallas and Tarrant counties were among those in which judges ruled minority voters had seen their clout weakened. Excuse me, Judge Nimno and friends. That's called politics. You see, every decade, the political party in power gets to reapportion the districts in their states. From time immemorial, the party in power will set up the voting districts in their states in an effort to give themselves an electoral advantage. The Republican Party, when they dilute a minority district, they are doing their job. If minorities don't want to have their clout diluted, then what you need to do is you need to ally yourself with a political party that isn't malfunctioning at the level that resembles art and actually does things for your community. I can assure you the Democrat Party is not that party. You see, they're out of power. They've been out of power for years. You know, it's 2017 now. The Republicans drew these districts in 2011. Is it fair? Yes. And here's how it's fair. If you don't like having your clout diluted, then maybe what you ought to do is you ought to ally yourself with a political party that wants you to have strength. And if you're saying, okay, that's the Democrat Party, now all you have to do is convince the Democrats to come up with some sort of political ideology that's pro-Texas, pro-America, that doesn't kill babies, that doesn't care if Wendy Davis lives or dies. These are all things that you need to find in your next political party. Because if that next political party is in power when they redo the districts in 3 years, then you will have your clout undiluted. This is the way politics is done. It sure as hell is the way politics is done in Democrat majority states. You don't see these stupid lawsuits in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois. You don't see these things happening. You don't see the Republican Party in those states going to the federal district court and saying, hey, the districts are all screwed up, because you'll get laughed out of the court. Of course the districts are screwed up. You don't win political elections. The people who win political elections get to draw the districts. If you want to draw the districts, win political elections. I will tell you, being the poster child for national abortion is not going to get you many votes in Texas. And it shouldn't get you many votes in Texas. That the Democrat Party keeps running the Republican Party through these courts, and that these courts keep taking these cases. This is stupid. It is an abuse of the American governmental system. The courts should have nothing to do with it. The only reason they have anything to do with it is because of the Civil Rights Act of 1965, the Voting Rights Act of 1965. And why did they have that? Because a bunch of Texas bigots tried to suppress the minority votes. Now, what minority are we talking about here? The Voting Rights Act covered which minority? That's right, African Americans. That's the minority that the Voting Rights Act was created to remedy. Not Hispanic voters. So what difference does it make that Hispanic voting districts had their clout reduced? These are Hispanic districts. You see, in the entire history of the United States, we never had Hispanic slaves. But you know what we did have? We sure did have African slaves. And you know what's terrible about slavery? It destroys the very core of anybody that has ever had their lives touched by it, because it destroys the civilization they came from completely. So that's what happens. And that's when a real, honest-to-goodness, benevolent government says, we've got to do something for these people to make sure that these ridiculous Texas bigots, hopefully all of them are dead now, it is hopefully what they will end up doing is that they'll never have to deal with any of this stuff again, because these bigots made this mistake to begin with. These guys actually suppressed the African American vote. And they got stomped on in the mid-60s by Teddy Kennedy and all these people who said, not only can we help these people get to vote, which they should have the right to do, but we can also stomp the life out of the conservative movement of Texas. And right in the middle of the Texas South, the gold buckle of the Bible Belt, the actual heart of conservatism in the South, we can control the way they do their elections. And we can screw up with their voting districts. And that's what they're doing here. And it's not done. The entire judicial branch is being abused by the Democrat Party. And the Voting Rights Act had nothing to do with Hispanics. The Voting Rights Act had to do with Africans. Now, why these people believe that they can appropriate the sins of the fathers, okay, and appropriate it on themselves, I'm sorry, but you just don't get to do that. You know, they have this thing going around college campuses that's cultural misappropriation. You are taking part in cultural misappropriation when you consider yourself to be African Americans in the United States, worthy and actually deserving of the legislation that we passed to protect those people whose lives and culture we destroyed. We didn't destroy your culture. Your culture's doing fine. You don't believe me? Go to any high school in Los Angeles on Cinco de Mayo, where the kids wearing American flags are told to turn their shirts inside out or they'll be sent home, suspended. Yeah, your culture's doing just fine. And there's something else. This isn't Texan. This is not the way you deal with your neighbors. Your political party is taking advantage of you. And they are losing elections because they're not just taking advantage of you, they're taking advantage of everything. The Democrat Party is an absolute flippin' mess, especially in Texas. These people want to turn the state of Texas blue. Why? What have they got to offer? Nothing. They get to offer what they've offered California. Tens of billions of dollars in debt, racial hatred from one end of the state to the other. A gigantic city and state that's totally out of control. We don't need that in Texas. We don't want that in Texas. If you want political power in Texas, come up with better ideas. Better ideas than the Republicans. Come up with a better agenda. Convince the voters that you're right. And here's why. And prove it. Texans will vote for you if you're better. But you're not better by going into court and throwing people under the bus by saying, oh, these are terrible racists. They're picking on us poor Hispanics. No, I'm sorry. That law wasn't for you. You're misappropriating it, and you should stop. Do you have a question or a comment on what I've just said? I hope so. 866-660-5759. This is the Wells Report.
Hey, it's Mark Davis and my friends at Walker Air Conditioning and Heating, and welcome to spring in Texas, where we run our AC every day, which means this news is great from Trane and Walker AC. If you purchase a new Trane qualifying system, you can get a trade allowance of $1,000 or choose 0% financing for 60 months with the Wells Fargo Home Projects credit card. See Walker AC and Heating for details. 888-653-0051 for finance details about credit costs and terms. Regular APR $28.99 for newly opened accounts. APR may vary, subject to credit approval. Offer expires 5/31/2017. So spring is here, and that means it's already hot. Could be the best time to have Walker AC and Heating inspect your system to keep it running at peak performance. If your system just needs repair, that's what they'll do. If it's time for a new system from Trane, that's what they'll do. Give them a call. I trust them. I love them. It's my AC company. 972-4-WALKER. 972-4-WALKER or WalkerAC.com. Walker Air Conditioning and Heating and Trane, because it's hard to stop a train.
Do you know what a RIA is? It's a Real Estate Investor Association, and it's where smart people go to obtain wholesale houses, get no money or no credit financing, team up with local investing partners to make money while learning about the business, and receive local market intelligence and training. Don't buy houses retail. That's ridiculous. And please don't waste your money going to a get-rich-quick seminar from a traveling pitchman. Come network with local DFW area real estate investors that are just getting started or taking it to the next level. Come join the largest real estate investor network in Texas. We meet on Tuesday, April 25th at 6 p.m. at the Great Wolf Lodge in Grapevine. You can register to attend for free by calling 800-717-3320. This month's topic is Top DFW Investors Share Their Secrets. Call 800-717-3320. Write it down. That's 800-717-3320 to attend any of our upcoming meetings and receive a valuable Texas real estate training program for free. Brought to you by the DFW Real Estate Investment Association.
Are you being audited and do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Is the IRS threatening to take more of your money? Don't fight the IRS alone. The Tax Doctor is here to help you negotiate a lower tax bill. The IRS can freeze your assets and seize your bank accounts, but you can stop these IRS actions. The Tax Doctor will fight for you using industry secrets that can stop any IRS actions, eliminate penalties and interest, and reduce your past tax bill so you pay the IRS less. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the Tax Doctor now for a free IRS audit emergency review.
Call 855-290-1382. That's 855-290-1382. Again, 855-290-1382. That's 855-290-1382.
Hey, it's Hudson. I've had so much success with soda weight loss. My friend Darla is on the program. Darla, tell him about what's going on with you.
Oh my goodness. For me, soda was a life changer. I have been fighting with that 15 pounds for literally almost 10 years since my last baby was born. And now it was easy. They weighed me. They showed me what my body was like. They told me what would work for me. And within weeks, it's gone. In the past, when I had big things coming up where I was really nervous about how I was going to look and the clothes that were going to fit me, eat a little here, not eat, skip meals, finally get to almost where I needed to be, still felt pudgy. This time I didn't do any of that. I ate the proteins they gave me, and truly it's worked all the way around. Soda has changed my life.
Call and schedule an appointment today. 1-800-800-5080. 1-800-800-5080. Always online, SOTAweightloss.com. And find out for yourself why soda is state of the art.
State of the art. Woohoo!
Amazing to realize, but it's been almost 2 years I've been talking with you about Relief Factor, and I can tell you I've been continually inundated with testimonials. If you're struggling with ongoing back or neck pain, shoulder, hip, or knee pain, or general muscle pain, pains of any kind, do what tens of thousands of others have done so successfully. Go to ReliefFactor.com and order their 3-week quick start for just $19.95. 1-800-500-8384. That's 1-800-500-8384.
Sean Hannity here for my friends at Generator Supercenter, the great American story. Now, this started in 2005 with two brothers selling and repairing generators out of their garage in Texas. Today, they are the #1 Generac dealer in the nation. #1 means more savings for you. When the power goes down, keep your home or business up and running with a Generac standby power system from the Generator Supercenter. Financing available, payments as low as $100 a month. GeneratorSupercenter.com. That's GeneratorSupercenter.com.
660 AM. The Answer. If it's important to you, it's on the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Telephone number 866-660-5759. The Democrat Party in Texas has succeeded in violating the political compact that has existed upon all times, that the party in power at the change of the decade gets to draw the voting district maps. And what's going on is that the Democrat Party, because they are such a lousy political party, they do not have ideas, they do not have an agenda except for killing babies. They don't have anything to offer Texans. And no, they don't get to draw the House voting districts. They don't. Yes, there are going to be people that are disadvantaged because Republicans are going to draw the districts to their advantage, just like Democrats do. And that these clods in the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals do not understand that. Do not understand that they are actually messing with the political process that has gone from time immemorial all the way back to the signing of the Constitution. That these people don't realize this is part and parcel as to why the people of the United States think the judicial branch was a mistake. You've got guys in black robes that had absolutely no business getting their jobs except for the fact that they impressed a politician. Somebody who was elected was impressed by somebody who was sitting in a court someplace and they find themselves on a federal bench somewhere. They are unelected, which means you don't screw around with elective politics. If we are going to have an apolitical judicial branch, it's going to be apolitical. Stay out of politics. You don't get to rule whether the districts are fair. It's not your job to rule whether the districts are fair. If Democrat voters are disadvantaged, it's because their party sucks. And if you're a Democrat, if you're a Texas Democrat and you're really upset right now, just call me on the telephone. I'll be cool. You tell me what good idea you want to bring to Texas. Any idea is fine. I'll give you the next half hour. If you're a Democrat in Texas and you have an idea that's going to make Texas better, by all means, get on the phone. I want to hear what it is, because I've been living here a decade and I haven't seen you guys do anything that's worth a tinker's damn. And I got to tell you something else. You know, in some cases, you know, like the first guy that throws out a Hitler reference in a debate automatically loses the debate. I got another one for you. If you're in the middle of a political fight in any state in the union and you have to go to court to get it resolved, you lose. Because you don't have the stones politically. You don't have the talent politically. You don't have the intellect politically. You don't have the stones politically to be able to fight the fight and come up with better ideas for the American people and the people of Texas. You don't have it. And until you do, you're going to have to go back to the court. Oh, it's unfair. They're being unfair. Where they're diluting our clout. Diluting your clout. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm going to say something else to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. You guys keep screwing up. You guys just keep screwing up at the circuit court level. And what's going to end up happening is you're going to have a Article 5 convention of the states, and we'll just take your power away. This is the Wells Report.
If you're a CPAP user, soap and water cleaning may leave harmful bacteria, viruses, and mold that can make you sick. That alone will keep you up at night. Until now, SoClean.com is the world's first and only automated, hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. SoClean kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs without soap, water, harsh chemicals, or even equipment disassembly. And now you can try it risk-free for 30 days. Call 800-860-9297.
SoClean changed the CPAP experience for the better. My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean's revolutionary design makes it easy to clean your CPAP and protect you against CPAP-related illnesses. Plus, SoClean works with all popular CPAP devices to clean them in minutes. It really is that easy. Don't risk your health. Call SoClean.com now to try it risk-free for 30 days. Call 800-860-9297. This offer won't last. Call now. 800-860-9297. 800-860-9297.
We finally have the home of our dreams, but it wasn't because we purchased the home of our dreams. It's because we purchased an ordinary home and hired the design experts at Adair's Fine Floors to make it extraordinary. From our complete bath renovation all the way to our sparkling new quartz countertops in our kitchen. Adair's Fine Floors does so much more than just floors. At Adair's, you'll find granite and quartz countertops, sinks, blinds, shutters, rugs, as well as a huge selection of wood, tile, carpet, and vinyl flooring. Adair's and their skilled installers will make sure your project will go as smoothly as possible from start to finish. The hardest decision you'll have to make is choosing from such a wide range of choices.
Stop by their showroom at the corner of Abrams and Royal in Lake Highlands and let them help you take your home from ordinary to extraordinary. Call 214-503-1324. That's 214-503-1324 or visit their website at adairsfloors.com. That's adairsfloors.com.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Think about that cell phone that you have with you right now. Is it likely supporting the liberal agenda of Nancy Pelosi and Bernie Sanders? Hey, Mark Davis from my friends at Patriot Mobile. It's true. Most cell phone companies that we all know contribute to pro-abortion, gun control, open borders causes. You can stop that by switching on over to Patriot Mobile, the nation's only conservative cell phone company. How? At patriotmobile.com/Mark. Special offers just for you, or 1-800-A-PATRIOT. We're going to buy you out of your current contract. When they do their donations, it's to conservative causes and candidates that you get to pick. So bring your number, bring your phone, get new ones, whatever you want. We're going to buy you out of your current contract, give you a better rate, same phone selection, same service. Let's go. Support conservative causes with patriotmobile.com. patriotmobile.com, 1-800-A-PATRIOT. Switch now, get a free iPhone 5S or Galaxy S5, unlimited talk, text, and data for $45 a month. PatriotMobile.com/Mark, 1-800-A-PATRIOT, PatriotMobile.com/Mark.
This is Michael David from Seattle. I'm 51 years old, and 6 months ago, I started taking Andro 400 to increase my testosterone. Since then, I've lost 35 pounds of fat, and my waist went from size 38 to size 32. I have more energy, and I look and feel 20 years younger. And now my wife tells me I have to take Andro 400.
Hi, this is Ron Johnson from Utah. After 10 weeks of taking Andro 400, I lost 13 pounds and my waist went from 36 to 33. That was 8 years ago. I continued to take Andro 400 and I've maintained my weight at 172. Gained muscle and energy. I'm 63 now and feel better than I have in 30 years.
Andro 400, the natural way to increase testosterone, lose belly fat, gain energy, and feel great. Try Andro 400, the safe, effective, affordable way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
A reminder to register for the free Money Matters Retirement Seminar, 1 p.m. Saturday in the Money Matters building in Plano, 7 p.m. Tuesday, Holiday in McKinney, or 7 p.m. next Thursday in Arlington. Find out if you are properly diversified so you can take advantage of stock market gains when possible while having a protective strategy in place to help in case of a stock market crash. The best time to take Social Security, 5 strategies to help save on income tax, and much more. Reserve at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net.
Chris Tomlin presents Worship Night in America. Chris Tomlin, Big Daddy Weave, Phil Wickham, Zach Williams, Mosaic MSC, and speaker Jason Barton. Don't miss this amazing night as the church joins together. An awakening event from the Awakening Foundation.
Coming April 21st and April 22nd to Verizon Theater at Grand Prairie. On sale now. Get your tickets at AXS.com.
660 AM. The Answer. Now, by popular demand, The Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. While we're on the subject of malfunctioning Democrats, I want to talk to you about something that happened today in Fort Worth. That was a rally at the Verizon Theater in Grand Prairie where Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders took the stage. He called for an end to corporate welfare, greater opportunities for the middle class. This former presidential candidate, Bernie Sanders, stormed North Texas on today to rally local voters against the agenda of President Donald Trump. We have to have an economy that works for all of us, not just the top 1%. He said to a crowd of about 2,000 supporters at Grand Prairie's Verizon Theater. That's not a lot of people, but it's 2,000 more than should be there. The Vermont senator was in town as a part of the national Come Together and Fight Back tour. Fight back from what? Fight back from the fact that the political process in the United States dismally failed the American people so much that they didn't elect a Democrat. They didn't elect a Republican. They elected a businessman. Come together and fight back, huh? Fight back against what? Epic Democrat incompetence? Yeah, epic Democrat incompetence. Let's talk a little bit about Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Let's talk about making sure that people that really couldn't afford a house could afford a house courtesy of the Democrats. Let's make sure that what we do is we take Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and we start competing with the private sector mortgage industry. Then what we should do is then we should make sure that these mortgages are put into the marketplace where they can be used as investment vehicles. And then let's have RNB Paribas suddenly realize that 10% of these mortgages are given to subprime lenders or some subprime customers. which means that there's a 10% chance that these mortgages could go belly up. And they stopped buying. And it damn near took the entire world economic system down. Was it because some private sector mortgage company made a mistake? No. It's because Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, two government agencies that have no business existing in the first place, but do thanks to Democrats, damn near took out the entire world economy. And then the Democrats tried to blame the whole mess on President Bush. And because the mainstream media lies like a rug, it actually worked. So here's this gang of flim-flam artists. And if they were sitting here, all I'd have to do is ask them questions. I could ask them 10 questions, and all of them, Bernie Sanders, Keith Ellison, all these guys would be crying. Vice Chair Michael Blake, these guys would be crying. You know why? Because they're wrong. Because they're flim-flam guys, and they know it. There he is, standing in front of a huge Texas flag. Bernie Sanders, who was homeless before he got elected to public office. He's a flippin' communist. He's proposing tax breaks benefiting the nation's wealthiest people because Trump is an evil guy, and proposing tax breaks benefiting the nation's wealthiest people while simultaneously scrubbing community development block grants, which Meals on Wheels rely on. No, they don't. Meals on Wheels is doing fine, Governor or Senator Sanders. Nincompoop. Donald Trump told people I'm a different kind of politician. It sounded good on TV. The only problem was Donald Trump lied. It's one thing to give a campaign speech and another to follow through as president. Oh, really? Senator Sanders? Really? Let's talk about lies. Let's talk about this single-payer medical system that you like, that you want for everyone. You know, we have a single-payer system in the United States right this very moment. You know what it's called? It's called the Veterans Administration Medical System. You were actually on the committee that oversaw it. When the Inspector General said, you know, we've killed 307,000 American veterans with this ridiculous system. We've killed 307,000. You were on watch. How come that happened on your watch? Oh, because you think it's okay. You think that socialized medicine is the way to go. Well, here's the perfect example of socialized medicine. Here's some more. This is information that comes from April 12th, 8 days ago. A new report by the VA Inspector General says Washington, D.C. Veterans Affairs Medical Center has several alarming problems and is placing patients at unnecessary risk. It has led to the removal of its medical director from his position. See, he's got great political connections, but he's a lousy doctor. He's endangering patients. You know, veterans, the people who fought for the United States of America. Where were you on this story, sir? As a matter of fact, Senator Sanders, what do you think about the VA medical system? Is it a shining success? You see, when I'm sitting here and I'm saying, you know, I could put these people at that microphone where Ryan Sitton was brilliant this afternoon. I could put him right there on that microphone and literally he would get up and walk away. Not because I was disrespectful, but because I would ask him questions he doesn't have the answers for. He's a Soviet apparatchik. He's a Communist Party goon. He's a swindler. And so is Keith Ellison. And so are all these other guys. The VA Office of Inspector General's Rapid Response Team came to the medical center in Washington, D.C. to begin an investigation and return for another visit last week. According to the preliminary report released yesterday, it was found the medical center ran out of supplies needed for patient procedures and had to borrow them from a private hospital. The team also found no effective inventory system to manage supplies, medical equipment to be used by patients. More than $150 million of equipment had reportedly not been inventoried in the last year and was unaccounted for. The report also says that 18 of the 25 sterile satellite storage areas for supplies were dirty. There was no system in place to ensure that recalled products were not used on patients. The Inspector General report says, in part, although our work is continuing, we believe it's important to publish this interim summary report, given the exigent nature of the issues that we have primarily identified and the lack of confidence in the VHA to adequately and timely fix the root causes of these issues. In other words, they're incompetent. They can't do the job. They're endangering their patients. And oh, by the way, they've already killed 307,000 of America's best citizens. The veterans. A group of people that they are impaneled and empowered to bring medical care and healing to. And they're killing them left and right. That's Bernie Sanders. That's what Bernie Sanders wants to bring to the rest of us. He's got no plan to fix the VA. If he had a plan to fix the VA, it'd be fixed. Because he was on the Senate committee that oversaw the VA. Hello. Nice job, Senator. Oh, you know what? We got to stop taking care of the rich people. Yeah, we got to start taking care of the rich people. We've got to have legislation over the next several weeks that will raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. Restaurants in California are closing left and right. Oh, yeah. There are people working in restaurants that are making $15 an hour. But about a third of California restaurants are out of business now. Nice job, sir. Once again, millions of people struggling to get by, even though they're working 40 hours a week. Wages in this country are too damn low. Nobody makes it on $7.25 or $9 an hour. You can't do it. You know what you have to do? You have to go get a job. You have to educate yourself. You have to create a career for yourself. You did it. You swindled a bunch of voters in Vermont into electing you over and over and over again. You're an anti-American thug. You're a swindler. You're a flim-flam man. And the only reason that you're able to get away with this garbage is because newspapers like the Dallas Morning News, part of the big, gigantic media fix, I guess want to live in some communist workers' paradise. Like the one you honeymooned in after you got married? Yeah, you went to Moscow? Yeah, we remember. No, you can't get by on $7.25 an hour. You have to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and get yourself a real job. That's not something the government can give you. He wants immigration reform. In other words, he wants more people that know less to come into this country so that we can all make $15 an hour. He doesn't know anything about economics. Inflation is driven by wages. If there's more money in the marketplace will expand their pricing until they can soak up the extra money. He doesn't get that because he's a boob, because he's a communist. If communist economics worked, there'd still be a Soviet Union, and there isn't. Oh, but let's see how everything's going. No, the Soviet Union just screwed it up. Let's see, where's a really good communist socialist state? I know, Venezuela. Let's see how they're doing. Oh, General Motors became the latest multinational company to pull out of Venezuela after government authorities seized the plant. General Motors didn't pull out of Venezuela. General Motors was thrown out of Venezuela after the government of Venezuela nationalized the plant. What are they going to do? They're going to take over the production of the cars with what engines? Is GM just going to keep sending engines and body parts and tires and wheels and so on and so forth and all the things you need for a car? You're going to continue building the 2017 Venezuelan? For what? For how many more years? Until you run out of parts. You see, General Motors has infrastructure in place to be able to provide all the parts to build a car. The nation of Venezuela doesn't. So what have they done? They've just gotten rid of all kinds of jobs for all kinds of Venezuelans so that they're going to starve too. Everybody in Venezuela is in the street looking for food. You know why? Because their government is socialist and communist, just like Bernie Sanders wants you to live in. Clashes between protesters and security forces erupted in Venezuela during marches taking place in at least 12 cities across the country. This is the kind of wonderful life that Bernie Sanders wants you to have. Hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans took to the street to protest the government of President Nicolas Maduro as the country marked its 207th anniversary of the revolution that led to its independence from Spain. A teenager who was shot in the head in Caracas near one of the protests died in the hospital. Opponents of the government said pro-government militias opened fire on a crowd, but government officials say the boy was assaulted while walking home from a soccer game. So much for protecting the people. Bernie Sanders is a socialist communist idiot. The 2,000 people in North Texas went to go hear what he had to say means that I've got lots more work to do. This is the Wells Report.
It is not easy to know if you're making the right decisions with your finances and savings. If your financial plan is even slightly out of tune, you may be paying too much for taxes or retiring without a sound income plan. Jamie Blumenthal at Retirement Strategies and Solutions can help. Listen to 660 AM The Answer Saturdays at 8 p.m. to retire the right way. Or call Jamie now at 800-287-1667. That's 800-287-1667.
Acme Home Insurance.
Yes, I'd like to make a claim.
What are you wanting to claim, sir?
My water heater broke down.
Sorry, but your homeowner's insurance doesn't cover water heater breakdowns.
So what do you cover?
Home damage from things like earthquakes, volcanoes, a zombie apocalypse.
A zombie apocalypse? But that'll never happen.
But if it did, you'd be covered, sir.
But not my water heater?
I'm afraid not.
But his water heater could have been covered with a home warranty from American Home Shield, plus components of 20 other major home systems and appliances, like his electrical system, plumbing, refrigerator, and more. For valuable free information, call 1-800-300-3861. Home insurance can cover what might happen.
Zombies are coming!
But a home warranty helps cover what will happen.
Now the dryer won't work.
Life happens. Have a plan. Get a home warranty from American Home Shield. For valuable free information, call 1-800-300-3861. That's 1-800-300-3861. 1-800-300-3861.
Ready and reliable, anytime, night or day. When your plumbing's got problems or your drains are clogged, that's when you need AAA. You go to AAA-auger.com.
Is your water heater tired from the winter? With the increased load on heaters during colder seasons, minerals and sediments accumulate at a much faster rate in the tank itself. Flushing your water heater now will go a long way in maximizing the life of your tank. So for a limited time only, Reliable Red and his crew of professionally licensed plumbers are offering a residential water heater flush service for only $67.50. So call AAA Auger Plumbing Services 24/7 at 877-999-1979. That's 877-999-1979. If you need a plumber fast, call AAA Auger Plumbing Services. Some restrictions may apply. License M37445.
When your plumbing's got problems or your drains are clogged, go to AAA-auger.com.
Warning.
If you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-700-0299. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-700-0299. That's 1-800-700-0299. 1-800-700-0299.
If you're a sleep apnea sufferer who's on the go to your phone. Because if you give us a call right now, you'll be able to try the world's first portable mini CPAP device absolutely risk-free for 10 restful nights. It's the Transcend Mini CPAP, an engineering marvel that's as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. Its unique design is so small and so light, you can fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. No more dragging around a big, bulky CPAP. Even better, now you can try Transcend absolutely risk-free for 10 restful nights by calling minicpap.com, 1-800-600-2804. Transcend is FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. You can also add a battery pack that's as tiny as a deck of cards. So now you can enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere. But don't wait. To receive your 10-night in-home trial, call minicpap.com now. 1-800-600-2804. That's 1-800-600-2804.
Are you Rich Little, that guy that imitates all those people on television?
That's right, it is Rich Little, and he's coming to Arlington Music Hall on April 22nd for one unforgettable evening of laughs.
Nixon's lost it. He's gone over the edge.
Don't miss the man of 1,000 voices as he impersonates presidents, celebrities, singers, and more.
And when this stormathon thing against all extremistic fractions is concludified.
That's Saturday, April 22nd at Arlington Music Hall, and coming in May, don't miss Donnie Edwards' tribute to Elvis. Get your tickets now at arlingtonmusichall.net.
660 AM The Answer. 660 AMTheAnswer.com. The Wells Report. A daily good old-fashioned North Texas barbecue of anybody trying to take advantage of us on 660 AM The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. The New York Times did it again. The New York Times talked about how the Patriots showed up at the White House and had a smaller group of players and employees than President Obama, and made a big deal out of it. Well, people in the New England Patriots entourage suddenly realized it was because half the people that were in the picture for President Obama had been seated in another location on the grounds of the White House. And that was never mentioned. Indeed, when all those people were put where they were in the President Obama photo, there were more. But this is the kind of underhanded garbage that the mainstream media just has to keep throwing on President Trump. They are damaging themselves. All the propaganda that's fit to print is what the New York Times is turning itself into. It was absolutely ridiculous that they would even try to do it. And the president caught them again red-handed doing it. The New York Times is turning itself into a pernicious mess. I can only hope that the new owners of the New York Times, whenever it gets to the point where it just doesn't have the money to print anymore, it's my hope that the new owners will remember just how important this newspaper actually is. Not as a propaganda tool, but as an instrument of truth. This is the Wells Report.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. You ever heard the term over 40 vision? Not exactly a technical term, but those of us over 40 know it well. At Climate Evangelist to Eye Center, they want you to know that you do not have to live a life with a bunch of reading glasses all over the place. You're constantly losing them, having to buy new ones. You don't like them, so let's get rid of them. Rid of readers. Text rid of readers to the following number. Ready? 31996. Text rid of readers to 31996. Climate Evangelist will get right back in touch with you with news of the vision correction procedures that can turn back the clock on how you see the world. Eye Centers of Excellence in Dallas, Plano, Arlington, Mount Pleasant, coming soon to South Lake. So text rid of readers to 31996. Be sure to ask about low monthly payment plans. Climate Evangelist has great details on all those. Restrictions may apply, but you will enjoy the freedom of getting rid of the reading glasses. Let's go. Rid of readers. Text that right now. Rid of readers to 31996. Rid of readers to 31996.
If some high-pressure salesperson twisted your arm into buying a timeshare, it's not your fault. Whether you bought decades ago or days ago, I bet that salesperson didn't mention your timeshare could cost you twice as much as a regular vacation, or that you'd never be able to use it when you wanted, or that your fees could shoot up every year. They misled you, and that's not fair. That's why we're here, to get your timeshare company to free you from your unwanted timeshare. Get the free information you need at 1-800-700-4839. We're the Timeshare Exit Attorneys, America's #1 timeshare exit service run by real attorneys, not sales companies or middlemen. It was a salesperson who got you into this mess. Don't rely on a salesperson to get you out. We've got a 100% service guarantee and have already helped thousands of people get out of unwanted timeshares. For free information, call 1-800-700-4839. That's 1-800-700-4839, 1-800-700-4839.
Off the Rails Country Music Fest with Miranda Lambert, Jason Aldean, plus Dirk Bentley, Justin Moore, Turnpike Troubadours, Old Dominion, Tyler Farr, Rodney Atkins, Charlie Daniels Band, and many more. Off the Rails Country Music Fest, May 6th and 7th at Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas. Tickets and VIP packages on sale at offtherailsfest.com. This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM. KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Carmen Roberts. Seattle police capture a third suspect in the shooting that injured 2 police officers.
The Seattle police officers were responding to reports of a robbery at a 7-Eleven when they encountered 2 suspects down the street.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal says police shot and killed one of those suspects. A second was apprehended and the third ran. This woman was there when the shooting started.
As things started happening really, really fast and people were yelling and lots of signs, it was just really chaotic and I started to get a little more scared.
A gunman shot one of the officers in the chin, seriously injuring him. The other shot in the stomach, but a police vest stopped that bullet. French police have searched a home near Paris believed linked to the attack on police on the Champs-Élysées. The home belongs to a 39-year-old man with a police record. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer.
In 1967, Arab forces attempted to wipe Israel off the face of the earth. 6 days later, Israel had triumphed. Jerusalem was reunified for the first time in nearly 2,000 years. Honor the 50-year anniversary of this historic triumph by joining Mike Gallagher and Dennis Prager for Stand With Israel, a 9-day odyssey celebrating Israel's past, present, and future. Explore Israel's heritage at Galilee and Jerusalem. Embrace the present, touring modern Tel Aviv. You'll meet with high-ranking Israeli leaders and understand more deeply the complexities and marvels of modern Israel. You'll walk on soil contended for with courage. As a conservative American, you can show your support. Stand With Israel. 2nd, November 1st. Includes luxury accommodations, delicious meals, and safe transportation.
Look forward to something special this year. Stand With Israel. For details about this all-inclusive trip happening this fall, visit 660amtheanswer.com.
At any time in Texas, it can feel like the change of the seasons. But I'll tell you what, as we work our way into springtime, Abacus Foundation has been serving North Texas with the highest quality foundation repair solutions for 17 years. With a warmer temperature and additional moisture, oh my, the foundations can be rocking and rolling. So if you got cracks in the sheetrock or doors that are sticking, call Abacus Foundation Repair at 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000. These are the people I call. These are the folks who have been to my house. These are the folks who will not give you a foundation job you don't need, but will tell you exactly what's going on. Now, if you do need a new foundation, you got the Millennium Composite pilings, the strongest, and folks at Abacus are the only folks offering it. And get this, $1,000 off any job with 10 pilings or more. AbacusFoundationRepair.com. Lifetime warranty, transferable, 972-406-9000, 972-406-9000, or AbacusFoundationRepair.com. Hey, it's Mark Davis. Think about that cell phone that you have with you right now. Is it likely supporting the liberal agenda of Nancy Pelosi and Bernie Sanders? Hey, Mark Davis from my friends at Patriot Mobile. It's true. Most cell phone companies that we all know contribute to pro-abortion, gun control, open borders causes. You can stop that by switching on over to Patriot Mobile, the nation's only conservative cell phone company. How? At patriotmobile.com/Mark. Special offers just for you, or 1-800-A-PATRIOT. We're going to buy you out of your current contract. When they do their donations, it's to conservative causes and candidates that you get to pick. So bring your number, bring your phone, get new ones, whatever you want. We're going to buy you out of your current contract, give you a better rate, same phone selection, same service. Let's go. Support conservative causes with patriotmobile.com. Patriotmobile.com, 1-800-A-PATRIOT. Switch now, get a free iPhone 5S or Galaxy S5, unlimited talk, text, and data for $45 a month. Patriotmobile.com/Mark, 1-800-A-PATRIOT. patriotmobile.com/Mark. Hey, it's Mark Davis from my friends at Simple Sleep Services. If snoring is a problem in your life, and if it's a problem in your life, it's a problem for everybody in your life. Let's get the simplest, least invasive solution. That's what they did for me at Simple Sleep Services. What you have with Simple Sleep is a way to avoid implants and surgery and the CPAP device by just calling 469-685-1700. 469-685-1700. They're in Dallas and Fort Worth. Insurance covers most folks. It's the Somnodent device. Simple appliance. They make it for you. They did one for me. You take it home, you pop it in, kiss your wife goodnight, and silent night. Absolutely fantastic. Diagnosis from a board-certified sleep physician. They have a home sleep study, so you're not in some lab. Call them for more information. 469-685-1700. 469-685-1700. SimpleSleepServices.com. Wonderful people. I'm so glad I met them, and you will be too. 469-685-1700 or SimpleSleepServices.com.
Are you being audited and do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Is the IRS threatening to take more of your money? Don't fight the IRS alone. The Tax Doctor is here to help you negotiate a lower tax bill. The IRS can freeze your assets and seize your bank accounts, but you can stop these IRS actions. The Tax Doctor will fight for you using industry secrets that can stop any IRS actions, eliminate penalties and interest, and reduce your past tax bill so you pay the IRS less. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the Tax Doctor now for a free IRS audit emergency review.
Call 855-290-1382. That's 855-290-1382. Again, 855-290-1382. That's 855-290-1382.
A reminder to register for the free Money Matters Retirement Seminar, 1 p.m. Saturday in the Money Matters building in Plano, 7 p.m. Tuesday, Holiday in McKinney, or 7 p.m. next Thursday in Arlington. Find out if you are properly diversified so you can take advantage of stock market gains when possible while having a protective strategy in place to help in case of a stock market crash. The best time to take Social Security, 5 strategies to help save on income tax, and much more. Reserve at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net.
660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is The Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. In about 60 days, Democrats from all over the United States of America poured $10 million into the Georgia 6th Congressional District special election. Democrat John Ossoff, who's a 34-year-old filmmaker, was running for office and mouthing the words that he had heard other Democrat candidates say, trying to appeal to the centrist in all of us. Apparently, we all have this centrist gene. And he was trying to appeal to the centrist in all of us and tried to turn a district that was Republican and has been Republican since the 80s into the first chink in the armor of the Trump train, an actual honest-to-goodness referendum on the evils of the Trump administration. They wanted him to have 50% of the vote or more because 50% of the vote, 50% of the vote plus one gets him the seat. If he fell short of that, then he'd be stuck in a runoff. Well, Mr. Ossoff won 48.1% of the vote because Republicans finally woke up and said, you know, this guy could steal this seat. And they also picked somebody that actually could win the election, Karen Handel. She's actually somebody that's actually spent time in the political chase. So let me see. Let's see. She finished a distant second with 20% of the vote. She emerged from a crowded primary field, finishing second due in large part to her huge name ID. She served as Georgia's Secretary of State and a county commissioner for Fulton County. She's a real pro. Not that that's great, but she's a real pro. She got 20% of the vote. Did I mention that there were 18 Republicans running for the seat? So now what's going to end up happening is that the Georgia 6th is going to be in a runoff in about 90 days. And I would expect that this John Ossoff is going to get crushed. And so will end his very short, and for good reason, political career. But what exactly is going on with the Democrats in that they figured that they would do something like this in the first place? They are so hungry to come up with any kind of political victory at all in the post-Trump election days that they will do anything. And what they are doing is making themselves look stupid. They could have put somebody up there, I don't know, in the district that actually lived there. Somebody came up to Ossoff and said, you know you don't live in the district, right? And he goes, He had nothing to say. You know why? Because he has nothing to say. This is what a walking, talking, empty suit rubber stamp looks like. Okay? But can you imagine $10 million? $10 million from the Hollywood left, secular progressives from one end of the country to the other, just trying to get some kind of foothold, some reason to get decent political coverage from a corrupt mainstream media, as if there was any decent reporting when it came to politics in the United States. There is none. It's all propaganda. That's what happens when you poison the well. People stop drinking the water. That's the way it works. That's how Donald Trump got elected. And what all these people are doing, Bernie Sanders, Keith Ellison, what they're doing is they're adding more poison to the well, knowing that at some point, the well will become so acrid, so horrifyingly unhealthy, that the entire world will beat a path to their door. And you're saying, well, that'll never happen. Exactly. It will never, ever happen. The Democrat Party has turned itself into an anti-American thug party that hates this country, hates our freedoms, hates our liberties. Democrat women actually dressing themselves up in burqas because they want to be dominated by a strong Democrat. And all this other stuff has just been a lie. Yeah, the resistance movement. Yeah, the women's resistance movement against Trump. The burqa was the symbol. Have you gotten yours yet? I talk to my friends from the liberal left who are female, and I say, gosh, you're going to look good in a bag. Can you imagine walking around in a tent all day? Is that really the kind of life you want? That's the kind of life you're spoiling for. And so they spend $10 million on this John Ossoff guy. And what are you going to do now that he did not win? He lost. Well, we're going to pour more money in. That's what we're going to do because we're Democrats. It's not our money anyway. And what we're going to do, like good socialists, is pour more money in. You see, socialism works great until you run out of everybody else's money. Tom Perez doesn't work blue on cable TV, especially in the early hours, apparently. I'd rather be John Ossoff right now than Karen Handel. That was according to the DNC chair. He told Morning Joe earlier, after an $8.3 million loss and a fractured Republican field, failed to keep their special election candidate from a runoff in June. Why, he's already at 49% of the vote. There's a heck of a lot of energy out there, Perez bragged after Joe Scarborough questioned the strategy of Democrats investing heavily in TV spots. Perez pledged full Democrat Party support, saying that they had a darn good ground game, got room to do even better in runoff. Mika Brzezinski not quite buying it because she's been burned so many other times, looking stupid, coming up against the American people and Donald Trump. And neither was USA Today reporter Heidi Shibla. After declaring the Democrats won a series of moral victories. When was the last time Democrats did anything moral? Can you explain that to me? When was the last time they did anything moral? I'm just asking. She wonders when these moral victories are going to actually translate into actual victories. As soon as Democrats stop hating America, stop killing babies, start coming up with better political ideas than Republicans. It's not hard. It's not hard to come up with better political ideas than Republicans. I swear you can do it if you just put your brain on it. CNN's Chris Cillizza is a little skeptical. Cillizza isn't impressed with Perez's claims of superior energy and Shibla's moral victories. They still haven't demonstrated they have any momentum, though Cillizza thinks the June runoff might be a showcase for that claim. What it's difficult to know is how Ossoff's showing is going to be viewed by the Democrat base and the donor community. Will it be evidence that every seat, that even seats in the solid South, can be won thanks to Trump's unpopularity? Or will Democrats regard it as a disappointment? Given the perfect storm of factors that seem to be lining up in Ossoff's favor, for Tuesday's vote. He's not going to win this seat. He's going to lose. They're going to throw good money after bad. They got a bad candidate. They deserve the wilderness that they're wandering around in right now. This is what happens when you hate America. America hates you back. That's just the way it goes. Alyssa Milano, very gifted actress. The results of the special congressional election in Georgia left her a little more worse for wear. The quote was, "I want to puke." That's what she tweeted after John Ossoff came up short in the Georgia's 6th district special election. "I want to puke." Ossoff, a 30-year-old former Capitol Hill staffer and documentary filmmaker, was seen as the Democrat Party hope to steal a seat that had been held by Republicans for 40 years. Milano, who personally drove voters to polling sites for Ossoff, responded to a tweet sent by President Trump celebrating the Democrat candidate's failure to reach 50% of the vote, despite major outside money, fake media support, and 11 Republican candidates. The big R Republican win in runoff tonight in Georgia. Glad to be of help. FYI, real Donald Trump, Republicans didn't win Ossoff. 88.5 got more than twice as many votes as the Republican, 35.5. That's not true, or he'd be the sitting member of the House in that district. He got 49%. Ossoff is now set to face Republican candidate Karen Handel in a runoff election, and he's going to get crushed, as well he should. And then the Democrats will say, "Oh, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. You know, we would like to have a win, but we've got another moral victory." It's the only morals you got. This is the Wells Report.
Is your body beat up from the hard work you do every day? Well, if you're a hard-working American and have aches and pains in your knees, back, or even your whole body from working hard all day, then your insurance company doesn't want you to hear this. The Pain Advocate Hotline is now open 24/7 to help you get covered for the pain you have. Your insurance company takes your money every month and hopes to not hear from you. But if your body is beat up from the hard work you do every day, like driving a truck, waiting tables, or fixing cars, we can help get your insurance company to pay for pain-relieving products to help fix your back or knee pain at little or no cost to you. We've helped millions of good, honest, hard-working Americans relieve their joint pains. Just call the Pain Advocate Hotline now at 800-903-0074 for absolutely free information on pain-relieving options available to you now. Call the Pain Relief Hotline now at 800-903-0074. That's 800-903-0074. 800-903-0074.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I found out several years ago that I have hepatitis C, and I didn't want to be one of those guinea pigs that the doctors wanted to try all sorts of different things on. So I was looking for a more healthy alternative, and that's how I found Balance of Nature. I have had absolutely no symptoms since I started taking Balance of Nature. Within 3 months, my liver enzymes were next to normal, and they had been very highly elevated. I enjoy a very full life. I own several businesses and working 60 hours a week, and before I started taking Balance of Nature, I couldn't even work full time.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code 660AM.
Have you ever thought you'd like to flip houses but didn't know how or where to get the money? Are you ready to be your own boss so you can start living the good life? Hi, I'm Preston Neely. I used to be so broke. I had my electricity turned off 9 times, but I figured out a way to quit my job and find financial freedom in real estate. For a limited time, I want to send you a free copy of my smash hit selling book, How to Get Rich in Real Estate. It shows you how to copy exactly what I did so you can make money from the comfort of your own home without even doing any manual labor. I've already given away 5,000 books and they're going fast. To get one before they're gone, call 1-800-500-4309. Listen, if you're sick and tired of stressing about money, this book could change your life. It's short, fun to read, easy to understand, and awesome. To find out how to get your free book while supplies last, call 1-800-500-4309. Call 1-800-500-4309. 1-800-500-4309.
Warning. If you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-700-0299. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-700-0299. That's 1-800-700-0299. 1-800-700-0299.
Chris Tomlin presents Worship Night in America. Chris Tomlin, Big Daddy Weave, Phil Wickham, Zach Williams, Mosaic MSC, and speaker Jason Barton. Don't miss this amazing night as the church joins together. An awakening event from the Awakening Foundation.
Coming April 21st and April 22nd to Verizon Theater at Grand Prairie. On sale now. Get your tickets at AXS.com.
Mattress shopping? You've probably noticed that the big box stores are constantly running sales. That's what you have to do when you're selling price instead of quality. At Sovereign European Sleep Systems, they don't have sales. Why? Because the quality of their product is as consistent as their pricing. So if you want a truly great mattress at a very reasonable price, you should consider the Sovereign mattress. A healthier, more durable, more comfortable mattress at a very reasonable price. Sovereign European Sleep Systems in Dallas and Southlake. Learn more at sovn.com.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are learning. You are listening to the Wells Report. You are learning. I am learning. I'm learning lots of things. I don't know where that came from. It's been a busy show today. Got a good show. Officials at the University of California, Berkeley, you know where free speech began. They reversed their decision to cancel a speech by conservative firebrand Ann Coulter today. They announced that they were canceling Coulter's appearance yesterday following several political protests in Berkeley that turned violent. But today, the university reversed its position, saying officials had found a venue where they could safely hold the speech May 2nd instead of the original April 27th. However, a leader of the college Republican group that originally invited Coulter said the university was placing strict conditions on the event, said that the group intended to reject the new terms. Who cares? Before the reversal was announced, Coulter vowed to go ahead with the appearance anyway. That's what put security officials in a bind, and they decided to fix it. What are they going to do? Arrest me? Said Coulter. Probably. Coulter said she called their bluff by agreeing to the rules set by the university seeking to prevent violence. University officials originally sent a letter canceling the event to a campus Republican group that invited Coulter to speak. In it, university officials said that they made the decision to cancel Coulter's appearance after assessing the violence that flared on the campus in February when the same college Republican group invited right-wing provocateur and now former Breitbart News editor Milo Yiannopoulos. There we go. Yiannopoulos to speak. As the protests and clashes escalated during Yiannopoulos' event, some people began setting fires, throwing rocks, Molotov cocktails, attacking members of the crowd. Boy, isn't that great? Isn't that wonderful, tolerant, big tent, leftist policies? All that progressive brother and sisterhood. The decision by Berkeley to cancel both events involving high-profile conservatives was especially notable given the campus's role during the 60s and 70s as the birthplace of free speech. Coulter said in an email in the Washington Post, the university had been trying to force her to cancel her speech by imposing ridiculous demands, but she still agreed to all of the silly requirements. She said she believes the speech has been unconstitutionally banned by public, taxpayer-supported UC Berkeley. Coulter said the university insisted her speech take place in the middle of the day, that only students could attend. The exact venue wouldn't be announced until the last minute. She said that she agreed with the conditions, but apparently that wasn't good enough. They just got up and announced that I was prohibited from speaking anyway. I feel like the Constitution is important. The taxpayer-supported university should not be using public funds to violate American citizens' constitutional rights. Hear, hear. A conservative national group that had been helping organize the event, Young America Foundation, said Coulter also made demands of her own, including any student engaging in violence would be expelled. In her email, Coulter is still planning to give the speech. YAF spokesman Spencer Brown said she's told them she plans to appear at Berkeley on April 27th. If Berkeley wants to have free speech, they're going to get it. Good. That's what it has. That's what it's got to take. This is the Wells Report.
I used to play a lot of sports in college, but when I got older, my legs started to burn and ache, making it hard to work out. Then I noticed those varicose and spider veins. I couldn't believe it. I thought this only happened to my mom and her friends.
The professionals at Vein Clinics of America have performed over 1 million personalized procedures for their patients, making them the largest, most experienced vein treatment center in the U.S. Using state-of-the-art laser and minimally invasive treatments, they can begin restoring your legs back to health in as little as 1 hour with no downtime, and most treatments are covered by insurance.
I called Vein Clinics of America, and they fixed my legs. No more ugly veins. Now I can run and do squats again.
Guys, get back in the game. Call now and schedule a free fast-track consultation with one of our doctors and learn how you can finally get rid of those embarrassing varicose and spider veins. Space is limited, so call now. 800-300-3388. That's 800-300-3388. 800-300-3388.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business. So make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-827-5948 now. That's 800-827-5948 for your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-827-5948 to learn more. 800-827-5948. That's 800-827-5948. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Terminix 1 to Terminix 2. I've discovered the secret location of the termite colony. I'm moving in.
Roger that. Need backup? We have a team 10,000 strong.
I'm going in alone. Must take termites out before they cause more destruction.
You could be outnumbered 1,000,000 to 1.
At Terminix, we We like those odds.
Don't let termites invade your home. Once they start, they are relentless, eating every minute of every day. Termites are never satisfied, so take immediate action. Call Terminix at 1-800-300-4711. As America's leading termite control provider, Terminix will do whatever it takes to stop termites in their tracks with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Termites never stop trying to get in. Terminix never stops working to keep them out. And if they ever come back, so will Terminix.
Mission accomplished. Termites reported on Park Street. Let's go. Not a moment to lose.
For a free termite inspection, call the experts at Terminix, Defenders of Home. 1-800-300-4711. 1-800-300-4711.
30-day money-back guarantee at participating locations.
Could your vitamin and mineral supplements be harming you? Here's the inventor of Texas Superfood, Dennis Black.
Most adults take supplements hoping to improve their health, but there's no proof they actually work. While medicines target symptoms, they don't do anything to prevent illness. That's why I created Texas Superfood. It's pure, natural nutrition. Texas Superfood contains antioxidant-rich vitamins and minerals from 55 vine-ripened fruits and vegetables. Count them, 55. Your body needs this. So here's my health promise to you. Switch from your chemistry-set vitamins to Texas Superfood for 90 days. Get better energy, more focus, and better sleep, or return it. No questions asked.
Now, when you order 2 bottles of Texas Superfood, you can get the 3rd bottle free, but you must call now. 877-55-TEXAS. That's 877-55-TEXAS. You can also order online at texassuperfood.com. Call now, 877-55-TEXAS.
Sean Hannity here for my friends at Generator Supercenter, the great American story. Now, this started in 2005 with 2 brothers selling and repairing generators out of their garage in Texas. Today, they are the #1 Generac dealer in the nation. #1 means more savings for you. When the power goes down, keep your home or business up and running with a Generac standby power system from the Generator Supercenter. Financing available, payments as low as $100 a month. GeneratorSupercenter.com. That's GeneratorSupercenter.com.
Are you a responsible person who finds yourself growing deeper in credit card debt? Then get ready for a toll-free number that will put you on a path to financial recovery. Trinity Debt Management will consolidate your accounts and work with your creditors. You'll save thousands and become debt-free for keeps. If your debt has you down, we should talk. Call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. 1-800-990-6976. 1-800-990-6976.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report. Must hear radio on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Tomorrow will mark the end of an era at Fox News. Bill O'Reilly has been chased out of his job by women who can't stand the fact that Bill commented on their physicality. I know that money was paid out because of lawsuits and so on and so forth years ago, but I'm still trying to figure out just exactly why all of this became public. Yesterday, I asked what sexual harassment was. I asked for a definition of sexual harassment. And what it is a tool to destroy the careers of successful men. That is all sexual harassment is. It is a tool to destroy the careers of successful men. I called upon my fellow men to do exactly what these women want, which is to ignore them. When you interact with them, be professional, be polite, and then disengage at your earliest opportunity. Because to do anything else is taking a massive chance that some woman is going to destroy your career. Bill O'Reilly and I are similar people, not in that I sexually harass women, although I do appreciate them. I really enjoy their company. They're pretty, they're fun, and they're completely too dangerous to spend any time with whatsoever. But he and I came up in broadcasting through very different ways, but we arrived at more or less the same position. Conservative, realistic, pragmatic, understanding that absolute power does indeed corrupt absolutely. He went through Harvard, he went through Yale, he went through network television, trotting the world, telling the story. I started my career in high school and have never looked back. I didn't trot the world, I trotted the United States. I've lived in every part of this amazing country. And at least in the continental United States, I can go pretty much to any state in the Union, to any city that I know in those places, and get a great steak. Because I've been in a lot of places. And I know a lot of people. And I love this land. Armed with an ability to read and an ability to tell the truth. I finally got here to the greatest radio station of my career, 660 AM The Answer. There have been radio stations where I worked that were more popular. I have had jobs on those radio stations that were, shall we say, more prestigious than the one I currently occupy. But I love the people who love this show on this particular day part, in this particular time frame, because they're truly wonderful people. We take our time on this show. We don't have to hurry through things. We can keep a guest an extra segment, especially when they're as good as Ryan Sitton. We can indulge in a much longer conversation with our friends. Bill O'Reilly sought to do one thing with his broadcast, and that was to give a better perspective on the issues of the day, which is exactly what we do on the Wells Report. The price of fashion, the price of societal malfunction, is this ridiculous creation of sexual harassment. Is there sexual harassment? Certainly. Is it wrong? Absolutely. Are the purveyors of sexual harassment deserving of their fate? Well, it depends. It depends. Sexual harassment used to be definable. You knew you were sexually harassing someone because you were asking for sexual favors in return for a promotion or a raise or something along that line. And then President Clinton, for all intents and purposes, destroyed sexual harassment. But it has re-arisen because it is a very effective tool to destroy people with. Can you imagine Bill O'Reilly being fired for telling a black woman that she looked like hot chocolate? Can you imagine that? All of these women have shown up and said, my God, he said I had a nice butt, or whatever it is that he said. Okay. Is it rude? Yeah. Should we take him off the air and shame him publicly and toss him aside in the great rapturous righteousness of how dare you compliment a woman who spends thousands of dollars every year on the tools that it takes to get her noticed? And then how she absolutely beats down anybody that actually notices that she's attractive because she spent thousands of dollars buying the tools necessary to be found attractive? Does that sound a little bit ridiculously absurd? Good, because it's ridiculously absurd. No problem. If these are the rules, we'll play by the rules. Gentlemen, ignore these women. That's your first and possibly only opportunity. Speak when spoken to. The shorter the answers, the better. Have a nice neutral smile on your face. Do not be rude. If she says, is that all you've got to say? Say, yes, ma'am. And then just let it hang, just like that. Unless, of course, you want to be the next Bill O'Reilly. Strangely enough, I wanted to be the next Bill O'Reilly. I wanted to take this show directly to that network. Because I knew there were broadcasters there. Because fair and balanced matters. Because real broadcast news matters. But now it looks like Fox News wants to go down the tubes of political correctness. Roger Ailes surrounds himself with beautiful women and eventually does the stupid things that men do. Maybe he makes a pass at one of them. He paid for it with his career. So don't make passes at women. Under any circumstances. Don't do it. Let them make passes at you. And if they don't make passes at you, well, then that's okay. You know who figured this out first? The men in Japan. They figured this out first. Now, it's a cultural thing. They don't talk to women because they can't. Their birth rate is negative numbers. It's been in negative numbers for 50 years. There won't be a Japan in another 50 years. There won't be. There just won't be enough people. Because that particular culture, the men realized that they could entertain themselves, and they do. This seems to be the way our females want it to be for us as well. Okay. Is it what we want? No, but who gives a damn what we want? Men in America, you know, they can take what they get and be happy with it. Especially where women are concerned. Right? That's the way it is, isn't it? Now, there are a lot of women out there that are absolutely gorgeous and wonderful and sweet and fantastic. But which one of them are there? Which one of the women that you see today is that woman? Because, you know, the first thing that you learn when you're getting ready to take somebody's career out is how to lie. You lie about how it damaged your psyche. My God, he said I had a beautiful body. Okay, whatever. All right, fine. Sorry you were crushed. Really, truly. Sorry you were crushed by that. Promise not to do it again. Ever. Ever. So one of these days I'll be out on Richland Chambers Lake drinking a fine bottle of wine, sailing my racing sloop past a dock, and maybe some sweet-looking woman, you know, the really good ones who are like 50 and wearing a bikini. The really good ones, the interesting ones. She'll say, hey, want some company? I'll look at her and I'll raise my glass and say, nope. Would it be true? No, it wouldn't be true. I would like her company, but I can't take the chance. I don't want to be O'Reilly'd. Yeah, we finally got to the point now where what we can do is we can turn Bill O'Reilly into a verb. Remember, my fellow men, don't get O'Reilly'd today. Your greatest possible friend in the company of females is silence. Practice it at a high art. Mind your manners. Keep your hands to yourself. Don't say a word. Or you'll get O'Reilly. You know what really bothers me? Not a single woman calls me on the telephone and tells me I'm wrong. Not a single one. You're listening to the Wells Report. Back in a moment.
If you're a sleep apnea sufferer who's on the go, go to your phone. Because if you give us a call right now, you'll be able to try the world's first portable mini CPAP device absolutely risk-free for 10 restful nights. It's the Transcend Mini CPAP, an engineering marvel that's as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. Its unique design is so small and so light, you can fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. No more dragging around a big, bulky CPAP. Even better, now you can try Transcend absolutely risk-free for 10 restful nights by calling minicpap.com, 1-800-600-2804. Transcend is FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. You can also add a battery pack that's as tiny as a deck of cards. So now you can enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere. But don't wait. To receive your 10-night in-home trial, call minicpap.com now. 1-800-600-2804. That's 1-800-600-2804.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-400-5008. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-400-5008. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-400-5008. 1-800-400-5008.
Hi, my name's Tim Forehand. I'm a deputy sheriff. In my job, keeping in shape is important. I've tried other products to get my weight down, but nothing has worked like Android 400. In just 3 months, I've dropped 51 pounds, down from 230 to 179. Plus, the weight's come off in the stomach area. I've gone from a snug 36-inch waist to a 32-inch waist, which I was in high school. I highly recommend the Android 400 to all my friends.
Guys, are you frustrated because no matter how hard you try, it seems impossible to lose stubborn belly fat? Then discover why thousands of men each month rely on Andro 400. Lose belly fat, gain energy and confidence, and feel great about yourself. Andro 400, the safe, effective, and inexpensive way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435.
2017 is the year of Trump, and markets are rising to all-time highs. But economic uncertainty may be greater than after any election in our lifetime. And as retirement approaches, there's little time to recover losses. You need to hedge against uncertainty. That means transferring part of your retirement to physical gold and silver, stored where you can actually hold it in your hands and get it past in any disaster. It's the perfect time to buy. Prices are low and expected to climb. Make Augusta Precious Metals your personal gold and silver provider. Augusta cares for your financial position and helps you make good decisions. And they're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. Get Augusta's free gold and silver IRA guide. What you learn could help you weather any economic storm. No obligation. Just call 855-222-6993. That's 855-222-6993. 855-222-6993. Trust Augusta. Protect your retirement today.
A reminder to register for the free Money Matters Retirement Seminar, 1 p.m. Saturday in the Money Matters building in Plano, 7 p.m. Tuesday, Holiday in McKinney, or 7 p.m. next Thursday in Arlington. Find out if you are properly diversified so you can take advantage of stock market gains when possible while having a protective strategy in place to help in case of a stock market crash. The best time to take Social Security, 5 strategies to help save on income tax, and much more. Reserve at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net.
It's time to honor our veterans with the Patriot Mobile Veteran of the Month. 660 AM The Answer joins with Patriot Mobile to spotlight a veteran each month. If you know a veteran who deserves such an honor, then go to 660amtheanswer.com and nominate them to be Patriot Mobile Veteran of the Month. Winners will receive a Crossroads Diner gift certificate and an award from Patriot Mobile. Plus, they'll have an opportunity to come to the studios to meet Mark Davis and John David Wells. Go to 660amtheanswer.com to nominate your veteran. That's the Patriot Mobile Veteran of the Month.
Saying I don't know is no longer acceptable. This is 660 AM, The Answer. If it's important to you, it's on the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. John David Wells at your service. Telephone number 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. I want to thank all the guests and all the people that made it possible for us to have this broadcast today. Ryan Sitton and his entourage. He didn't have many people. He had about 4 folks that helped him with today's appearance. He was affable and he was fun and he was smart and he's well educated and he has a servant's heart, which is absolutely necessary in a place like Texas. I see a lot of great things in his future. This is a guy who absolutely has a plan. You can see it. And other people can see it too. He is the Texas Railroad Commissioner. I wonder what he's going to do next. All I can tell you is that whatever he does, I think that the people that will benefit the most are the people that he's working for. God willing, that will be the people of Texas. As this very talented young man moves through his life. One can always hope. The executive producer of the Wells Report is Vicki Stifer. Technical director, conductor of the Wells Report Orchestra is Magic Matt Swinney. My name is John David Wells. God bless you. God bless yours. We'll see you again tomorrow for another edition of the Wells Report. Till then, be safe.
Are you being audited and do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Is the IRS threatening to take more of your money? Don't fight the IRS alone. The Tax Doctor is here to help you negotiate a lower tax bill. The IRS can freeze your assets and seize your bank accounts, but you can stop these IRS actions. The Tax Doctor will fight for you using industry secrets that can stop any IRS actions, eliminate penalties and interest, and reduce your past tax bill so you pay the IRS less. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the Tax Doctor now for a free IRS audit emergency review.
Call 855-290-1382. That's 855-290-1382. Again, 855-290-1382. That's 855-290-1382.
Here's microbiologist Dr. Kim O'Neill talking about balance of nature.
Scientific research has shown that many cancers and lifestyle diseases can be prevented with a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. This prevention comes from the phytochemicals in the plants. They fight against oxidants that damage the cell's DNA, causing mutations that lead to disease. I don't take any supplementation, but I take Balance of Nature because I've seen it in my lab. I've seen the immune response increase. I've seen your DNA repair capacity increase, and I've seen DNA protection, and I know that it works.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code 660AM.
Dennis Prager here. And for 2 years now, I've been telling you about my wife, Sue, who tried Relief Factor because of her knee pain, and it worked. And if you're struggling with ongoing back or neck pain, shoulder, hip, or knee pain, or general muscle aches and pain, do what my wife, Sue, did. Try Relief Factor. Go to relieffactor.com or call them toll-free 800-500-8384, 800-500-8384.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM. KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Carmen Roberts. A 7-Eleven robbery in Seattle leaves 1 suspect dead, 2 apprehended, and 4 police officers injured.
One of the officers was hit in the head with a bottle. One of the suspects fled. And there was an exchange of gunfire, and that resulted in 3 of our officers being injured by the gunfire.
Deputy Police Chief Carmen Best, one of the officers shot in the face, remains hospitalized in serious but stable condition. And police capture a Tennessee high school teacher who allegedly abducted a teenage girl. The family of 15-year-old Elizabeth Thomas overjoyed.
Our client, which is a wonderful family that has been through so much, the emotion that they've experienced really can't be described with the English language, in my opinion.
Family attorney Jason Watley, Tad Cummings, and the team found in Northern California. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer.
This is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, and I'd like to invite you to join me for our talk show every Sunday morning. We're actually trying to convert the world to organics. We talk about the natural organic program for farming, ranching, gardening, and pest control. Also, a lot of talk about health issues for animals and people. Hope you can join us for all the fun.
Make sure to tune in to Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 to 11 a.m. right here on 660 AM, The Answer.
Tune in Sundays at noon for the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show. Join us each Sunday when we discuss the principles and practices of the successful real estate investor. We bring you experts to answer your questions on how to use real estate to build wealth and passive realized monthly income, and teach you the ins and outs of investing in real estate. So tune in Sundays at noon, right here for the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show.
Join us for the Real Investor Radio Show right here on 660 AM, The Answer.
At any time in Texas, it can feel like the change of the seasons. But I'll tell you what, as we work our way into springtime, Abacus Foundation has been serving North Texas with the highest quality foundation repair solutions for 17 years. And with a warmer temperature and additional moisture, oh my, the foundations can be rocking and rolling. So if you got cracks in the sheetrock or doors that are sticking, call Abacus Foundation Repair at 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000. These are the people I call. These are the folks who have been to my house. These are the folks who will not give you a foundation job you don't need, but will tell you exactly what's going on. Now, if you do need a new foundation, you get the Millennium Composite Pilings, the strongest, and folks at Abacus are the only folks offering it. And get this, $1,000 off any job with 10 pilings or more. AbacusFoundationRepair.com, lifetime warranty, transferable, 972-406-9000, 972-406-9000, or AbacusFoundationRepair.com. Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends at Simple Sleep, inviting you to make 2017 the year for a healthier you with healthier sleep. Snoring is not just evidence that, hey, you're really sleeping soundly. It is evidence that there's something the matter. It's an interruption. Sleep apnea is a barrier to the proper amount of air, oxygen, getting to your heart, getting to your bloodstream. Let's fix this. Surgery will fix it, but who wants surgery? CPAP device, big old helmet and hose. Now keep going. Simple